Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us to dig into the Northeast SARE Graduate Student Research Grant. My name is Caitlin Serna, and I manage this grant as well as our Research for Novel Approaches program. Here at Northeast SARE, which stands for Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education, we offer several competitive grant programs, giving us the privilege to award over $5 million in funding each year with federal funding from USDA's NIFA. Today, though, we're going to be focusing on reviewing the Graduate Student Research Grant, and we really hope that you'll walk away with a clearer understanding of the eligibility and guidance on how to submit a successful proposal. Starting from the top, Northeast SARE is one of 4 regional SAREs across the United States, and we serve West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, all the way up north to Maine, including Washington, D.C. To apply to the Northeast SARE Graduate Student Research Grant, you must be a graduate student enrolled at an accredited institution in the Northeast region. Similarly, the proposal should be addressing current or potential issues of importance to farms in this region, and it must take place in this region. Northeast SARE has an outcome statement that highlights our areas of importance, which is Northeast agricultural communities honor the holistic connection among land, water, air, and all living beings. Agriculture in the Northeast is accessible, sustainable, and just, addressing historic and current inequalities so that all farmers and farm employees can steward resources to ensure sustainability, resilience, economic viability, and a high quality of life. Keep in mind that as a regional program, you are competing amongst applicants across 12 states and DC. Typically, we see 35 to 45% of proposals being funded. The maximum award amount is $15,000 for up to 2 years to complete your project objectives. While the Graduate Student Grant is one of our small grants, it can lay a good foundation for future research projects with larger funds, whether that's at SARE or another program as well. But we do recognize that this does not typically cover the full expense of a project. Northeast SARE encourages projects submitted from or in collaboration with women, the LGBTQ plus community, and Black, Indigenous, and people of color or BIPOC community members. Additionally, we encourage projects submitted from or in collaboration with minority-serving institutions, including the 1890 land grant institutions and other historically Black colleges and universities, Hispanic-serving institutions, and tribal colleges and universities, as well as other organizations in the Northeast who work with historically underrepresented communities. The goal of this program is to drive a new generation of scientists. The program is intended to encourage and support graduate students by introducing students to grant writing. We anticipate that many of the graduate students that are applying to this grant, this is their first grant, and that's totally okay. We here at SARE view this grant as a fundamental learning opportunity. We encourage folks to explore ideas beyond their immediate coursework. And we really want to help build relationships that get you out of the lab and into the field talking to farmers. This comes back to our main objective, which is to have research that can be applied to this region's land, water, and agriculture. At SARE, we are here to support you through your grant process and answer any questions along the way. A very common question that we get is whether someone's interested area of research or topic or their thesis projects that they're working on is an eligible topic for this grant fund. And we have a list of topics included in the call for proposals on page 2. I just want to flag that this is not an exhaustive list. Ultimately, your grant proposal should address one of the themes Northeast SARE describes in our outcome statement and convince the reviewer that your proposal will have an impact on that region. Looking at the review criteria included at the end of the call for proposals is a really good way to get into the mindset of what are we looking for? You might consider exploring the National SARE database of projects that have been previously funded and consider what's been done in the past and just do a quick search there to demonstrate that it's not black and white of what types of topics we fund. And I know that this can be a very frustrating response to some for the question of if a topic is fundable, but our aim and my real hope is that this fosters ingenuity and holistic thinking about your grant conceptualization. And just remember that your project idea should enhance sustainable agriculture and benefit farmers. If you can make the case for that, your project is more than likely eligible. All grant proposals must be submitted into the grant management system. Sometimes you'll see this listed as GMS. That's the portal available at projects.sare.org. The list here walks through the broad stroke categories of grant application that you will be asked to complete. We highly recommend that you prepare your responses to the application questions before entering the grant management system. That way you can copy and paste them directly in rather than working in a live application. We do have a Word document that can serve as your template to guide you through those questions. And there's a checklist included in the call for proposals as well. So you can cross-reference your work and make sure that you're not forgetting anything. Remember that incomplete applications or submissions missing materials will not be considered for funding. Because institutions don't allow students to manage grant awards, you need to have a faculty advisor that supports the project, available to provide support and input to you, and is willing to sign off on your work. They will be listed as the principal investigator, or sometimes known as the PI, on the contract. But the graduate student is expected to see the project to fruition, from writing and submitting the proposal to meeting your objectives and reporting out on them. Reviewers are looking for you to identify a problem and describe how you and your project will address it and elevate the impact your project will have on farms in the Northeast. Your method should be outlined in a meaningful way that tells the reviewer what are you going to do, how you're going to do it, and when you will be doing those things. There's a lot of detail that goes into writing grant proposals, and the information can become very overwhelming quickly. Write your proposal with the audience in mind. The reviewers will be a mixed audience with agricultural knowledge, but they aren't necessarily experts in your specific subject area. So you want to avoid using technical jargon and build your time into your timeline to review your draft and ask another person to review it to make sure that it has clarity to a reviewer that might not know about your specific topic area. The most valuable tip I can provide is to build a timeline working backwards from the due date. The first step is to talk to your desired faculty advisor and work with them to confirm their ability to join as an advisor as early as possible. Build enough time not only to think thoughtfully about the project, but recruit collaborators and obtain letters of commitments. Building a collaborative project can sometimes feel like herding cats, so organize your efforts and ask clearly and early. And work backwards from that deadline of April 16th, 2024, when the graduate student grant program is due. And lastly, I recommend building in days to step away from your grant proposal. It's really easy to gloss over reviewing and editing when you've been in the same document and looking at the same words all day. So with that, I would say go for a walk and stretch your legs. If you come back to your proposal draft still stumped, we do have a YouTube video and a YouTube channel with more information. And you can always contact me at northeast-gs@sare.org. Really excited to read your applications and good luck in your writing process.